welcome everyone to the 26th episode of QCast. I am not joined by Cringy today. I am joined by Pango1998. So how are you doing today, Pango?
I'm not dead yet.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at too. You know? But yeah.
I'll be back once.
Okay, now it's just myself. How you guys doing today? You guys doing well? So a little bit of a short one today. We just have a couple things to cover. We have, first of all, Dual Universe uploading a new video about the markets in the new pre-alpha R0.10 update. Then we're going to go over their news feed piece about this month's Trello updates roundup. And then afterwards, I'm going to do a bit of shameless promotion because, I mean, why the hell not? And then after that, I have a little bit of an idea that I kind of want to go over and kind of like gauge audience interest. So audience, be prepared to kind of like be...
Back.
Oh, you're back now? Okay. Audience, be prepared to like kind of give me feedback on this because it's kind of... It could be very interesting, but it could also be kind of stupid. So I want opinions. I mean, coming from me, it's probably stupid, but still.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, all right.
Everything.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, hell, have you seen this show? Anyways, speaking of which, let me quickly check. No new screenshot Saturday. How dare NovaQuark not give us? Dexio, you missed me offending myself and saying that I'm stupid and everything I do is stupid. Other than that, you didn't miss much.
Can confirm.
Can confirm. You missed Pango leaving. He left for something and now he's back. Anyways, all right. So without further ado, let's get into the first topic about the markets. So in typical fashion, we're gonna watch the video about the markets, and then we're gonna talk about it. So yeah. Enjoy, and yeah.
Hi guys, this is Jesse from NovaQuark.
And I'm NQ Entropy, game designer at NovaQuark.
We're happy to finally show you the first iteration of markets, which are coming in our pre-alpha 0.10 update.
Marketplaces will not be your main conduit to acquiring new items, but also for offloading your own cargo. All that ore you'll be extracting can now be turned into a hefty load of cash.
Right. And you'll now need the in-game currency called Quanta to acquire new items, as your inventories have been reset.
The landing page will inform you about the market itself. Things like tax rate, uptime, and ownership will all be displayed.
An important part of this page is the data tree and its associated search field. This will be your main instrument to filter through the market to find what you're looking for. Familiarizing yourself with this will drastically augment your speed and capabilities on the market.
So that's the Buy Sell tab. However, you'll notice on the left-hand side of the market window that there are two additional tabs. We're now going to take a look at the Market Container one, which is where you'll do the majority of your selling.
In the Market Container tab, you will be able to see your inventory, and from there you can simply right-click an item and select Instant Sell. If there is a buyer for this particular item, your instant sell will be matched to the highest bidder, and you can confirm the sale. Just make sure that you agree with the price.
However, keep in mind that there may not be any buyers for your items, and the instant sell could fail. If you're really looking to sell, you may want to put up a sell order. From the same right-click menu, you can select the Create Sell Order button.
A sell order is an intention to sell. You're broadcasting to the world that you wish to sell this item at a set price for a set duration. If your prices are fair or your items interesting, expect someone to come along and buy them from you. Remember that your items will go into escrow and you will not be able to access them once you have put up a sell order.
An instant buy will scan the market and match you with the cheapest sell order. Once again, however, there may be some items that do not have any sell orders or the prices are far too expensive, and you may want to put up a buy order. Similarly to the sell order, a buy order broadcasts that you want to buy a specific item at a set price, and if your asking price is competitive, someone may fulfill your order.
Both the instant buy and the creation of the buy order can be found when browsing a specific item in the Buy Sell tab. Remember that when putting up a buy order, the quanta that will be used for the transaction will be put into escrow and cannot be used anymore.
Don't fret though, you may cancel buy and sell orders at any time. Canceling orders will return to you whatever was put into escrow. For a sell order, you will get your items back, and for a buy order, you will get your quanta back. Note that there may be non-refundable fees from the market owner, but this will come later.
Finally, the last tab is the My Orders tab. The My Orders tab simply allows you to keep track of all your buy and sell orders as to not get lost in your own transactions. It's also the easiest place to cancel orders from, should you wish to do that.
We hope you enjoy your visit at the ARC shop. See you guys later.
See you soon in Dual Universe.
I will say, the that like ending kind of pan of Alioth, a celestial body. I don't know if it's Alioth.
Too late.
No, I do not. I retract my former statement. It could be any sort of planet. However, I am going to assume that it is Alioth. But I do kind of like that pan of the planet. That does look nice. So let's talk about markets, shall we? I can already see that everyone's having a wonderful discussion in the chat about market strategies. So all right, Pengo, let's talk about markets and see what we find is interesting. So as we said before, me and Pengo started, Glory Band ensued. Yep, I violated the NDA. I confirmed, exposed. Yep. But yeah. Oh dear. Anyways, I do kind of like the market system. I will give them that. As much crap as I give them for doing markets now, I do like the market system that they have implemented, even though it's kind of like the base, like it's kind of just the foundation of what's to come. I like the UI. I feel like overall it's simple. However, one thing I did find, hold up, let me look here. One thing that I don't understand is that, like, instead of having instant buy and like create buy order next to each other, they have, hold up, yeah, here, they have instant sell down here and create buy order, and then instant buy and create sell order. Like, they don't, I don't get why they switched them around, but I mean,
Well, okay, because when you instant buy, you're buying from the sell orders. You're not buying from the buy orders, you're buying from the sell orders. So why would the instant buy be in the buy orders? Because you're not buying from there, you're buying from the sell order. So it makes sense, because when you instant buy, it's grabbing from the sell orders, not the buy orders. So you put the instant buy in the sell order section, buying from there.
I guess I can see that, but honestly, I don't see why they, like, because you aren't, like...
I think the better option would be to do it kind of like how EVE Online does it. You right-click the order you want to buy from, and you click buy.
But,
or you have, like, a general buy button at the top, where you just click the button, and it gives you the, whatever, the best offer.
Yeah. But,
and just do away with the instant sell as well, and just have it so you have to right-click on the items, similar to EVE Online or Sun, which you can do.
I like it. The fact that it is closely resembled to EVE Online's market, as much flack as they're getting in the comments section. I love Dual Universe comment sections. They're always so fun to read.
People complaining about comment section?
What?
So what are people complaining about?
Oh, some people are... people are on the fence in the comments section about, like, it being, like, pretty much, like, exactly like EVE's market system. So they're just like, oh my god, way to copy off of EVE Online. And it's just like...
I mean, what the hell is she going to design it like?
Like, it's not like...
Literally...
Yeah.
There's there's maybe 3 ways you could do a market system. At least 3 major ways, or 3 ways that I've seen people do them. EVE Online system. There's the way that RuneScape does it, which is just retarded. Or there's...
Jesus, man, 2018, you're not allowed to say that anymore.
Well, too bad. Or there's VDO's method, which is also retarded. So, I mean...
Honestly, like, it's not like the idea itself is copyrighted or anything. So I mean,
No, it's the way the market, it's the way any market works. And
Yeah,
saying
and-
that they copied it off of EVE Online would be like saying, I mean, it's like me making a replica of a replica. It's no different because EVE Online was not the first person to do that.
Yeah. And honestly, like I think their lead production manager, I don't know, I forget his exact title, but like they have someone who was like super important over at over what's the company that makes EVE Online? Is it starts with
Oh,
a C.
CCP.
Yeah, CCP.
It's CCP Games.
For some reason I thought that was the people who did Star Citizen, but that's Cloud Imperium,
No,
right?
that's Cloud
Yeah.
Imperium and Robert Space Industries.
Yeah, I get them confused. There's so many.
I think
there's so
I
many.
only know
C
of like
titles.
2 games that's, or no, there's only like 3 games I think that CCP does, and that was Dust 514, which I don't even think they're doing that anymore. Eve Valkyrie, which is a VR fighter-based game, and then Eve Online.
Hmm.
I'm not aware of any other games that they make.
Yeah, but like he's in like he's now a part of Nova Quark. So I mean, and also JC is like he used to play a lot of EVE Online. He said that in a lot of the interviews
it's a
that
good
he
game.
did. So I mean, like they know that it works. Like why not go with something that works? You know,
Yeah.
you don't need to be revolutionary on every single little freaking thing you do.
Yeah.
You just,
Well, not only that,
like,
you can't really do anything different than what's already really been done before. I mean, what are you going to do? You can either make it so it's a free open market like EVE Online, which is preferable, especially for a game like this,
Mhm.
or you can take the retarded method that Black Desert Online took, where you basically make it socialist or communist, whatever the hell you want to call it. Basically, the tax rate is so ridiculously high that you cannot make money selling things on the market at all.
And the nice thing about that is in the video itself, it says that like owners of said market will be allowed to set their own fees and stuff. So it gives a lot more control for like if someone kind of wants to set up like a more communist or socialist state.
Yes, so like you could, and not only that too, it gives you some options. So if you don't like the tax rate of one group, you can just go over to another area and buy
Yeah.
from someone else.
And
I mean, it
honestly, that
actually-
opens up a whole nother thing because it's like
Free market capitalism, yay!
like that opens up a whole nother thing because it's like, you know, if one person doesn't like that market is going to just like decline and decline and decline, and the
Yeah.
people that run that market are either going to have to like close it down, change up their stuff, or you
Well,
know
and
go
only-
on and attack another market and say, hey, you're
Well, not
you're
only
now
that,
our
too.
market now.
Well, not only that, but okay. So for instance, you have 2 markets.
Hmm.
Profit, it's no bad Dexio. Communism is bad.
Dear.
Anyways, so I mean, if you have, say, Market A and Market B, and Market A has a 50% tax rate, and Market B has a 5% tax rate,
Mhm.
buyers are going to buy from Market B. Sellers are going to sell at Market B because that's less tax going to the owner, and more, or that's less money going of their money going to the owner, more going to the person that's selling it. So buyers are going to use B, sellers are going to use A. Is just going to sit there unused, with the only person selling things on it is probably going to be the person who owns it.
Yeah.
Because at that point, there's no point to, I mean, as both a seller and a buyer, it makes no sense to pay so
Well,
much money to someone who
And
just
then another
offered.
well, here's another thing with that. Like sometimes like if you're in like a
Hold
very
on. Dexio, it does if you learn how to spell.
Very nice. Very nice. There is an I in communism. It's just you took it out.
Oh my god, he doesn't know how to spell either.
Oh yeah.
No one can spell communism.
Communism. Communism. Anyway.
Communism.
Communism. Yes. But yeah, but here's another thing with what you were saying about Market A and Market B. What if like Market A is like the only market for like 50 hours of travel, right?
Well, in that case, someone opens up a new market and they get all the.
Yeah, it's just,
People.
but like it would just be kind of cool because those people could like, you know, make it like basically a monopoly and raise up taxes and fees and shit. And then it's like, then what do? You just kind of like have like a revolt or like what? It's interesting, right? Like they definitely are very true with the whole emergent gameplay sort of thing, and I
Well, see,
like
and
that.
people like to complain. You know, there's some people who complain that capitalism is not a good system. But if you look at it, you have Company A and Company B. Company A decides they're not going to pay their employees, are only going to pay their employees $2 an hour, while Company B is paying their employees $5 an hour. Who are you going to work for? Are you going to work for the company that pays $2 an hour with nothing else, no benefits or anything? Or are going to work at the company that pays $5 an hour that has no benefits or anything else? You're going to work for the company that's $5 an hour. As a consumer, you can either go to Company A or Company B to get something. Where at Company A they charge you $20, at Company B they charge you $15 for the exact same thing. You're going to go to Company B. You're not going to go to Company A. And if Company A wants to become relevant again, they need to increase their wages and they need to decrease their prices in order to be able to compete with the other person. So they're going to lower their prices, and then Company B is going to have to lower their prices, and it just basically goes into back and forth until one of them says that's enough, we can't lower our prices anymore.
Here's the way I look at it. I follow the words of Winston Churchill. Capitalism is the worst form of government economic structure except for all the rest. So, you know.
What?
You never heard that before?
No, what did you say?
Capitalism is the worst type of economic structure except for all the rest. Like, so
He's saying it's not the best, but it's best out of what's
every
available.
sort of economic structure like that is going to have its ups and downs. I mean,
well, yeah.
If communism was like, if the entire world was communist, then it would work better.
No.
Well,
it doesn't matter how many people are communists; it's not going to work.
Well, that's a matter of personal opinion. But
well, no, because if you look at it, if you make it so that so you have person A who's making $100,000 a year, you have person B who's making $25,000 a year. If you try to tax person A more money to the point where they're making the exact same amount of money as person B is making, person A no longer has a reason to work so hard to make $100,000. Why should they if they can just work a lot less or not at all and get the exact same amount as someone who is working their 40 hours a week? Communism doesn't work. I mean, there's a reason why every time communism has been attempted, it's always failed. Yeah. When you tax someone so much that they may as well not be making $100,000, they're not going to work for that $100,000 because they're going to get the same amount whether they're working 40 hours a week or 20 hours a week. They're getting the same amount, so there's no reason for them to work 40 hours a week. Why should they?
Also, Kurok, you are correct. The Monopoly guy, the Monopoly man does not have a monocle. He switched to contacts. You know,
yeah.
What's that one advertisement I always see for like contacts that are delivered like right to your door? Oh yeah, 1-800-contacts. he switched to that. It's like super amazing. They have like next day delivery and shit. It's amazing. Even though I don't need contacts, but I mean, sure. But we're just kind of and also Agatha, we're kind of just talking about just both pretty much real life and in game. I mean, technically we are talking about the markets, but now we're kind of
talking about general market systems.
I mean, technically we can have both. I mean, like, it deals with both IRL and in-game because people can do capitalist stuff. I mean, like different economic systems in-game.
Well, I mean, this isn't necessarily an IRL versus game thing. I mean, it's the same regardless of which where you implement it. I mean, the ideas and the mechanisms behind it are going to stay the same if you implement it. At least because we're talking about the economic stuff part of it, not so much physical or.
But yeah, honestly, I like the markets that they have implemented. I'll have to really kind of work with that and kind of get my whole economic team of one person up and running eventually. But yes.
Here's something. So Band of Brothers even if Band of Brothers did run more of a communist style, individual players were still making more money based on how much they work. They don't get taxed. They weren't getting taxed more because they made more. The individual player. So it wasn't truly capitalism. They're not getting paid. They're not getting taxed more so that they can, to the point where they're making the same as everyone else. It's not. It wasn't quite that way. Unless I'm wrong, and they were going around forcing everyone to give them their wallet journals every day or something, which would be ridiculous and excessive, and likely I pretty much guarantee they did not do that. But either way, the individual players were still making more money based on the amount of effort they put in, which would, it's not truly capitalism then.
Honestly, I want to try and go for more of a free market in Dual Universe and kind of just like...
If it was anything else, I would not be here.
Yeah. And try and just stay out of the market as much as possible, unless if, like, there's someone, like, actively trying to screw people over, then I'd step in, but... No.
Oh, you mean trying to regulate GLSQ's markets?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
What you're saying?
Yeah,
okay.
like...
Yeah, I agree. Regulation is usually not the best way. Is not a good thing. Usually, people can, the competition will regulate itself essentially. As long as there's competition, there's regulation.
Exactly. And if there is no competition, then I'd regulate.
So, I mean, really the only things we would need to look out that that we should do. And in fact, actually, do we really have a division in charge of ensuring, the different groups within GLSU aren't, intentionally trying to do crap like this, like economy system?
No, I'm the only antitrust person. I break up all the trusts. I also run the coffee machine. Make sure that's still running. I cannot live without my Keurig. But I don't.
Yeah, I mean, so because we might actually want to look, have some rules on markets within GLSU if it becomes a problem.
I want to see how advanced they. I want to see how advanced they do with how advanced they get with the regulations and kind of with fees and everything like that. I'll be interested to see how.
Yeah, I will be curious because I really think it'd be cool also if, say, so for instance, you have organizations and aren't they planning on implementing an alliance system?
I think so. And actually, now something I just realized in the video, you can see on this market screen, there's already placeholders for taxes. They have a sell flat tax and a sell percent tax.
Yeah,
I just saw that. So I mean,
which I'm curious. I'm kind of I want to speculating on this, but to me, I would imagine that maybe the flat tax would be, for instance, in EVE Online, you have brokers fees, which is like a set amount. So I'd imagine maybe that's what that's going to be.
Yeah.
And that would maybe go into the void. I'd imagine that would be like a game taken tax, and then percent tax would probably be the tax on the actual sale placed by the owner. But I would kind of like to see a tax system, kind of like how EVE Online has, where the organization can set a tax. So, now EVE Online, for instance, the tax in there is only taken when, say, it is not taken off of items you sell. It is taken off of things such as, so like if I were out shooting a bunch of pirates and getting bounties for it, that's taxed. But if I build something and then I sell it on the market, that's not taxed. But I think it would be okay if they implemented, say, a tax on market transactions. So if you say someone sells something for 100 currency. Yep. And the market has we'll say 25, or we'll say a 20% tax. So 20
There's
currency.
a helicopter flying over me right now.
So 20 currency goes to the market, and then out of that 20, the organization gets a percentage of that 20.
Something else that I'll be interested to see is if anyone tries to make like a stock market in Dual Universe.
See, that's something that I was actually kind of thinking about doing, because that would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, because like you'd be able to invest in company stocks, and if they do well, then honestly, you can make a fortune off of that. I mean, hell, people have made fortunes off of it in real life.
Well, and seeing some of that too will end up becoming a matter of whether or not the groups are going to actually.
Nova Quark sent a helicopter to glory. They take that NDA thing dead serious. Yeah.
Back to glory. Get away from the windows. There might be a sniper on the chopper.
Shit.
They sent the sniper.
They sent the sniper. He's gonna snipe me. Nah, they just sent an Apache attack helicopter. I'm fucked. That's where all of our money from the Kickstarter went into. Anyways, back to our discussion on markets now. Yes.
I completely forgot what I was saying.
Yeah, I kind of forgot too. but yeah, stock markets. Yeah, that'd be
Oh
honestly
yeah, stock
interesting.
markets. So it'll I think it'll depend heavily on whether or not individual, I guess you could say, companies
Mhm.
actually want to cooperate and make this a reality. Because if the company, makes, 20, let's say 20 million currency,
Mm-hmm.
and they just decide they're not going to hand it, pay out to pay dividends or whatever,
Yeah.
if they are doing dividend payouts
Mm-hmm.
to their shareholders, which are supposed to, so for instance, if their stock, if they market their stock as being, say, worth 100 currency, and there's 10 of them available, so 1,000, so the combined value of their stock is 1,000,
Mm-hmm.
and it's 100 each,
Mm-hmm.
so you have 10 of them, and they also say that each one gives a 10% of profit sharing that is given out to shareholders.
Yeah.
So if they have, 10 million that out of their 20 million profits, that they want that that they would, so let's say a good company, they would take part of their profits. So let's just say 10 million of their 20 million. It probably wouldn't quite be this high, or depending on the group, but they would then take that 10 million and split it between their 10 shareholders for 1 million apiece.
Mm-hmm.
However, so let's say another company also advertises their stock as being a dividend sort of setup. Well, you also have to rely on the fact that whether or not they're actually going to pay out to their shareholders.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of trust as well, which
Mm-hmm.
be interesting. But at the same time, that could also open up, which I think I might actually want to set up a website for this, potentially, maybe, start something up for this.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, so you have someone who goes around and basically gauges whether or not a group is trustworthy and actually going to do profit sharing if they say they're going to do profit sharing and whatnot.
Yeah.
And if so, then they go into, say, a database, which I might actually decide to make this,
Mm-hmm.
depending on how, whether or not there's enough people interested in doing something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then this way people can go to that website and see, okay, well, these groups do, they say they're going to do it, and they actually do it because they've been vetted by, a group in the game and have been proven to do it. So they know that, okay, well, the people on this list are guaranteed. They're good.
Mm-hmm.
So I would actually like to set up a group like that if there's enough people who want to run companies in game that are interested in doing a stock system, and if there is anyone else interested in actually getting this stuff set up and running. But
Mm-hmm.
that's obviously going to be a while because we actually need the game to be up and available. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see. I'll be excited to see where the markets go. And I hope.
perhaps we
What?
perhaps we could set up a GLSQ based group for this, because part of this too, so you have your stockbrokers.
Mhm.
Usually they would take a percentage, on top of the cost of the stock for profit to obviously pay for
Something else that I'll be interested to see is how interconnected these markets are. Whether if it will be very interconnected through the game, or if people will kind of go for more like third-party solutions, maybe making like websites for like trading stuff, like especially with stocks. Like if they would trade like stocks through like a website instead of like through in-game, I'd be interested to see how how interconnected the markets are going to be, because I know they're going to be all local, but I wonder if people will create programs to kind of like communicate with the markets, like with buying and selling and stuff like that in other markets.
So for a stock system, I mean, unless they're going to make it so that you can create, say, an in-game item with a custom name or something.
It's pretty much all just kind of like, yeah.
And even then, so unless they're going to make a way for you to create a unique item that has, say, a unique ID associated with it that no one else can have as a sort of counterfeiting measure. I mean, there's no way to really have, a stock be an item in game. It'll end up having to be through a website more than likely. Which is why I'm saying, it'll need some people for creating a website and such, which, I mean, I could handle a lot of the website creation if I needed to,
but yeah, we'll see. I would be interested to see, or something else that would be kind of interesting. Instead of like they add in basically a Yelp for like just like for DU though, like
A bunch of reviews.
yes.
I mean, if they don't add something like that into it, I mean, they can always we can always come up with a website for that.
Someone else will definitely do that.
Hey, might be something else.
Yeah, you never know.
Do it ourselves.
Yes. Do an in-game rating and do an in-game rating agency. Call it VVV_Moody_VVV and rate yourself AAA. Yes. That's amazing. Okay. So, I think we've discussed enough of the markets. I think we've pretty much covered everything. I'm definitely interested to see where it goes. This
Unless
video.
someone else has got something, and
What?
so unless someone else has something they wanna.
Yeah. It definitely does interest me. I definitely am very interested with these markets, and I hope they go far. And I hope they will allow us to do a lot of like. They'll allow us to kind of really customize how we want our markets to work and stuff, because these are all going to be local markets, keep in mind. So it will be really kind of interesting to see like what everything happens like that. Like we'll just see giant space stations as markets. Remember that some of that concept art for Dual Universe a while back? That was fun. But let me see if I can find that one concept art that I'm talking about. You remember the one that I'm talking about, right? The one like the space station and like that has like buy, sell, stuff like that. You remember that?
No.
Oh, here, kind of. Hold up. I'm looking. They used to have the concept art. Hold up. Maybe just Google images, Dual Universe. Hold up. Dual Universe. I'm guessing you'll know what I'm talking about when I find it. Where the fuck is it? That's like one of the most iconic images of Dual Universe. Like that's the one. I am prepared all the time. Where the fuck is it? God damn it. I can't find it now. I is upset. That's a starting splash page of the actual game. Yeah, but I'm not going to. Well, that would violate the NDA. So, I don't want that helicopter coming back. All right. And also now it's probably going to come for you, Agatha. Oh, here it is. Found it. Kind of. So, like, this side, like, the side of this right here, kind of, you can see, like, with the market, like, kind of see, like, yeah. You don't get what I'm saying, though? If any of you... But, like, kind of just, like, have these giant space stations just in the middle of nowhere with, like, markets, huge markets. That'd be honestly kind of cool, right?
Yeah. Although I like how they actually show it looks like ships actually entering the station for docking.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that I think would be really cool to have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, there are certain sizes of ships that's just not practical for.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, for a majority of ships, I mean, it'd be really cool to be able to have interior landing bays. And it looks like they do actually have some sort of force field effect there. I think it'd be really cool if we do have some sort of force field effect that we can also put.
Yeah. Also, like Dexio said, it's concept art, so I mean...
Well, yeah, but I mean, this is mostly just decorative stuff that has no collision on it. So, I mean, it wouldn't be too hard, really, for them to add something like that, I'd imagine.
Anyways, so yeah, that's what I mean. But it'd be kind of cool. All right, so the next thing, is the June Trello board update. So, this, they have a few updates, so we'll go through them all. So the first one is added make drag coefficient and atmospheric drag available through Lua. I don't get
useful for some autopilots and such.
Yeah, that would actually, now that makes sense if they do add an autopilot feature. I'm not sure if they would, but maybe.
Well, I mean, we've already kind of seen that.
But...
We've already seen them build a autopilot type system.
Yeah,
one of the videos that they showed in the past, they had a little drone that was following the player around. That would be an autopilot system. And not only that, I mean, it's not too unreasonable to have an autopilot system. It's not like you could realistically make something extremely advanced that can, do crazy maneuvers and be an ace in combat or anything like that. That would require way too much processing power, which
and also
your scripts aren't going to have access to. Your script's just not going to run.
If Tesla hasn't proven us enough like hasn't given us enough evidence. Autopilot doesn't mean you can just kind of like not do anything. You should probably, still
not
be
with
watching.
the current version, no.
I know, I'm just
Give
kind of
it long
joking.
enough, it will. But at the same time, though, I mean, those cars have more processing power than you're going to get for these loose scripts.
Yeah, but there's no ETA on that one. Added align the camera to the gyroscope when inside a dynamic construct. Player suggested feature that should make it to
sure
alpha.
what that's going on about.
I don't know, and
Like,
even if I would know, I couldn't say because that helicopter is probably still in the relative area.
INS remote is currently attached to the cockpit command chair, aligning the gyroscope.
Oh, you're
okay. So it looks like it's saying that the camera's currently attached to the cockpit or command chair from where you're controlling it, rather than attached to the actual center of, or like the pivot point on the ship.
Okay. I guess.
So it seems like
forgot
they're
we could
gonna
go
make
on
it
to
so
the actual Trello board and actually see what they mean. But
yeah, I can.
Yeah,
I've
added.
to that stuff.
I could click on these links, but I can't be bothered. Static cores aligning. Players suggested a feature that should.
Let's see.
For
what does Trello say about that one?
Yeah.
Currently, putting static cores next to each other result in them not aligning easily. This leads to overlapping grids. So this looks like for if you build like a structure on the ground, they don't actually snap to be aligned properly. They're near each other.
Fair enough. Added search field in container inventory item.
Pretty self-explanatory.
Yes. That one I would actually appreciate. Hey, can I get you guys to play my units trailer vid? No, we don't do advertisements here. If you want advertisements, go to Arc Central. They're sellouts over there, including me. I say that, and I'm in Arc Central. I'm also a sellout, but not on this show. Sorry, Wolf of Light. Added a free space % method. Sure, I guess. Players suggest a feature that should make it for alpha.
Yeah, that one, the Trello board basically looks like instead of people having to calculate it manually, they're just adding a function for it so that they can have it done their way, which is probably a lower end code that it's calling.
Yeah.
To do it more efficiently, because it says that that calculating it manually is fairly expensive on the CPU.
Added absolute global chat channel. Rejected. So doesn't even...
I think that's supposed to be like all players can see it everywhere, which kind of makes sense. That can sometimes be annoying.
And also, I think it would be a lot of like if it's like talking about a global chat, like communicating through like from like one galaxy to another and stuff like that, because I mean this game might be huge like that. It could be kind of intensive on the servers. I'm not sure.
No, not really. No, I mean that's going to be no more intensive than if it was really intensive. You wouldn't see a lot of small games having this sort of stuff. It's just the matter of gameplay and whether or not they want to actually have a global channel that everyone can see.
Yeah. Added improved visibility of the element's ghost when placing it. That's always been like something that people have complained about, because like I remember in the original like the original demo videos that they showed, it was kind of hard to tell like the placement and stuff. They've always tried to improve it, so I'm guessing they're going to improve it yet again. So what's glory? One of the targets of Nova Quark's attack helicopter. Anyways, and last but not least, added voice over internet protocol. So just play
VoIP.
What?
VoIP.
Yeet. So yeah, that'll be cool. So we'll see. Those updates. Yeah, these updates have interested me more than some other months, so that makes me happy. And yeah, that's pretty much the Twello updates. The Twello update. Yes, I'm Mike Tyson. I'm very offensive too. All right. So yeah. That's about it for the Trello updates, and then for this too. So next up is as I said, I only self-promote stuff that I am in. So, you know, I am going to give a little bit of a promo. I'm guessing all of you guys have seen the Arc Central video, but I'm not going to play it, of course. Fucking hatred, writing reports about... Rocky, why are you not here? You said you were cooking dinner. Either get back to cooking dinner. Get back to the kitchen. All right. Anyways, I'm sure the social justice warriors would come after me if Rocky was a woman, but luckily he's not. Anyways, but yeah, this Arc Central is great because I am in it. I took over Fancy Vader's job. I am cooking. I has to wait for the cook food. Well, you should get up here then and talk. Instead of, you know, just talking in chat, piece of shit. But yeah, I am in Arc Central. I cover the Nova Quark updates for May. Of course, it was the May update, and it came out June 13th. So we're 13 days late. No comment on that. But yeah, it was pretty good. Unfortunately, they didn't let me do any comedy stuff because they were like, no, you can't do comedy.
No, I think you're funny anyway, so that's okay.
What?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
Bitch! See, if I would be doing the community updates, I'd add in comedy. But I get that for the Nova Quark updates, they don't want comedy. They want it to be super serious. But yeah. So, that was fun. It's always fun to kind of substitute for, you know, some of the hosts when they're too busy and stuff like that. So, you know. And also I sit on the Arc Central production team as their resident comedy guy, I guess you could say, you know? So yeah. Other than that, that's about it. So go and check that out. Links in the description, of course. Now, before I forget, let me quickly check here. I need to check and see, because this next bit, the last bit that I'm going to talk about today, unless Nova Quark has a screenshot, which they do not. Great. Thanks, Nova Quark, for keeping up with screenshot Saturday. Come on, Diesel. I know you watched this. You need to keep up, man. Come on. I think, yeah, Diesel is the one that does the... I can't speak today. Community screenshots. He needs to keep up, man. But yeah. Last thing I kind of want to talk about today is a little bit of an idea that I had. And I'll kind of explain how I got this idea because it's kind of a little bit of a funny story. And then after that, I want to gauge like audience interests on this and see like, hey, is this something cool? And if someone actually wants to develop it, then they can, or, you know. So it's kind of funny. This morning, I got like a random text message that seemed like super sketched. That seems like super sketch, right? And it said like, hey, someone sent you a compliment. See what they said. And it gave me a link, right? And I was like, what the fuck is this? And so I like was doing like a bunch of searching trying to figure out what it was. Is it having guests on QCast? Well, I mean, you know, if those guests have Discord, you know, or can talk on Discord, Dexia, then, you know, sure. But, anyways, so it was like, hey, someone, you know, sent you a compliment, find out what they said. And I was like, what the fuck is this link? So I went online, I went on Google and just tried to type in, see if this was actually a scam or like they're trying to steal my information shit. Turns out
anything that starts with that is usually a scam.
Well, yeah, it was an advertisement. I'm guessing it was at least. But it was basically to this app that was in development called IRL. And basically it's kind of this like weird social media thing that allows you to connect with like friends and kind of like if you want to do things like, you know, like you can, here's all the different things you can do, right? I wish, if you want to, here's the different categories. You got better together, so you got Netflix and chill. Obviously, that's a great thing to do on a PG app. But video games, let's chill. Blow bubbles. Yes, we can blow bubbles. Let's work out and chat. We can like go and get food. You can, go out and do things and everything like that. And it's kind of just like
great. So get on with it. What is the idea? We don't need to know about this app.
Well, I just kind of want to see if someone, if we kind of make this into a DU thing, have everyone.
So you want a DU social media app?
Sure, why not? So you can say to someone, hey, let's go do some. I don't know, why not? I mean, why?
Like, you could just use Discord.
I know that's what I was saying with this thing too. Like, why don't you just text them or something? But I mean, I can kind of see it's just like another DU Tinder. Yes. Tinder. DU
Got it.
version.
We're gonna DU version of Tinder. Give me 2 weeks. Yeah, and the 1% are all bots.
Yes, the 1% of
they're all bots.
Are all cyber exalts.
They're all bots and catfishing.
Yes, they're all cyber exalts. It's all Cybrex. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it'd be kind of cool. It's kind of you could add friends through DU and just kind of say, hey, you want to go race or go to some sort of club or something like that and have some fun, or you want to go and kill someone in DU. I don't know. You want to go collect this bounty. I don't know.
Imagine if someone was being investigated for a crime and they got access to the phone and they're just going through and they just see these messages with no context as to, where. It's like, hey, you want to go kill someone?
Yes, that would be amazing. And then they're just like, oh dear. But yeah, it's kind of just I don't know. I mean, I'll be interested because this app is still in beta. So I'll be interested to see if it actually gets anywhere, because I don't really see the point of it for IRL stuff, because there's so many other apps that can do that. But I don't know, if someone did it early on in Dual Universe, I mean, I could see it kind of working out. I don't know. Possibly. But yeah. It's rather interesting. So we will see where that goes and everything. But I don't know, I just kind of wanted people's opinion. Do you think that would be something cool to have? I think it would be kind of interesting. I'm not sure how feasible it would be, but it could be interesting.
I mean, it's not that impractical. I mean, really, it's just a simple database with a front end.
Yeah. And I mean, it wouldn't have to be connected to DU as much. The only thing they need is pretty much just the information of maybe on the community site, right?
See, at the same time though, I think it would be more easier to just do a Discord, just use Discord for a lot of that stuff. Because I mean, what is it really going to offer that you can't do with Discord already?
I don't know. Just I don't know, it's kind of just I don't know. And the other cool thing is that they have stuff for events going on in the local area. That would be kind of cool, right? To have events that would pick up in the local area of DU, say on Alioth, or any other celestial body that I'm not allowed to name, because Alioth's technically the only one that's.
Well, yeah, I think at one point we already revealed about Alioth, so because I've known that name for a while.
Well, yeah, that's the starting planet. They've always had that revealed, but I'm not allowed to say any of the other names because I'm sure the helicopter can come back real quick. But oh my god, potential name for DU Tinder. Do it. Lenny face. Looking for DU group. Discord doesn't have swipe right. STDU. Oh dear god. The weird shit that we talk about.
So here's something. So you were saying though also that having some sort of system where you could set a event for a certain location.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's gonna be a coordinate system in game, because that might actually be kind of interesting to set up. So if you have a coordinate system inside of DU for planetary coordinate locations, longitude, latitude area,
mm-hmm.
with a little bit of math, you could figure out, how far away is point A, so for instance, you could have them set like the location of it, the longitude, latitude, the in-game coordinates, however that's going to work on a planet. And then
this has technically been
like,
revealed, so I'm technically not violating the NDA, but they do. They do have.
So they are going to have a coordinate.
If one of their old dev diaries, they kind of show off the early version of like the in-game map, and there are positions on there that you can use. So and also each of the tiles are numbered as well. So I mean, if you give like the tile names, right? Each tile is like 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. So I mean, you can kind of.
So I mean, so what you could do then is you could have it set up so that if your group sets an event at a certain coordinates, it can then check this. You can also have your home coordinate set, so like where you spend most of your time at in game. You could set those coordinates,
That would actually hold on.
If you're within a certain distance, you can have it set up so that if you're so that it'll auto send you notifications if you're within distance of an event that's planned.
Something else that I just saw in the chat. Super Mega. He just said a DU market app to monitor the markets. That would be kind of cool. That one I could actually see.
But that would require them to have to give us access to market data, whether that is through a API or something else. That would require some implementation by
Quark.
Yeah, by them.
It would be cool though.
But definitely would be useful.
Yeah, it would be useful.
Definitely be I would definitely want to.
I would want to develop that. I would definitely want to develop that. But yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Yo, Glory. Yes, Whale Taher. What do you want? But yeah, I feel like, honestly, apps are just kind of like, a lot of them aren't completely, like, needed, but, like, they're kind of cool things to have, So, we'll see. We'll see.
We want you to check general discussion.
Yes, I checked. I can see that. And I can see what he's saying. But,
oh, it's May 2017 Dev Diary.
Oh, yeah. That's where the map is.
Coordinates?
I think that's where that map is, so you can...
oh, yeah, that's right. This is the really old
UI I told you it's the really, like, base one. I can say that it's definitely looks different. I cannot say how it looks, or give my opinions, but I can say that it looks different.
Well, I mean,
I know it looks what would you
they've shown
they've shown
some of the UIs.
Yeah, I think they've shown the UI of the map.
Yeah, okay, so there's a longitude latitude system.
Yeah. So you can yeah, that answers your question, Pengo.
Hexagonal tiles.
But like maybe like have an app for like Uber, right? Like have an Uber in DU, like if someone needs like a pickup.
I'm gonna make this.
That would be awesome. Or have like Uber Eats, like if they ever need food, like if they ever implement food into DU, like have Uber Eats. You're too lazy to go out and get food yourself.
Nexion, I mean, you could still have a way to export the data for the kiosks. If the kiosks are assigned a unique ID, which they would have to be in order to keep track of where the certain thing, or where the certain orders are, what you could do is just have the unique ID of the kiosk stored on the UI somewhere, where at the very bottom, out of the way, or something, or at the very top, or in a a special button, or some other way. Basically, just put the unique ID of the kiosk somewhere. And make that available, because then what you would do is you would just have a simple web-based API that would return an XML with a list of all the orders. And when you go to when you call on the web API, you just give it the you just give it the unique ID and the URL.
I'm not saying why. I'm not saying you can't export data. I'm saying.
Well, no one's saying that you give the ability to buy and sell with them. Just view the market data. Not buy and sell, just view it.
Buy and sell would kind of be, I wouldn't, but like to view how.
Not only that, with the way that the market looks like it's going to be set up, there wouldn't be a way to set up a buy and sell system like that and be reasonable.
And honestly, that would kind of be a useful thing to monitor the markets, like the prices of items. Like if you like run like say a business like news thing, like kind of like say like doesn't CNN do one like CNN Money or like or Fox Business or something like that? I'm trying to
hold on. So
like That would kinda
Viewing
be
is a
cool.
big part of it, but I mean, if you're playing the entire game just messing with the market, I mean, what are you wasting your time for? I mean, you're not going to be playing it as much all that much anyway. So what does it matter?
I don't know.
Let's see, an org service app. See, I think something like that would be kind of cool. I mean, yeah, they have it on their Discords, but that means if you want to, go view services of an org or whatever, you got to go to their Discord.
Mhm.
Which, if you're like me, you've got like 50 Discords open. You don't want to join another
Yeah.
50 of them just so you can see services. So that
That
actually
I
would
was
be quite
actually
useful.
kind of thinking about actually trying to work on, like have like
Um,
a single app for like kind of like a
yeah.
DU job board.
Well, I would start with like
Kinda make it-
a web-based system, but
Try and make it like as easy as possible, like make it easy to read and see if like, and maybe kind of like register your interests, right? Like say you want to do say if you want to be a bounty hunter, right? You're like if there's bounty hunting, or say you want to build or mine or something like that, you could say your interests and only get those instead of just getting a bunch of shit ton, you know. You see what I'm saying? That would be kind of cool.
yeah. As for the fact that some people live in markets, I mean, yeah, but that's not. I mean, the majority of the people are not going to live in them, and at the same time, I mean, you can view it, but it doesn't give you the ability to really do anything. So it doesn't really matter if you can see it remotely if you're not there, because you still can't do anything. I don't really think it would be game breaking, and if those people who live in the markets never log on or only log on for 5 minutes a week, I mean.
Mhm.
Who really cares? It's going to be a minority for one, and for two, I mean, if that's how you play the entire game, I mean, what are you even bothering for?
Hmm.
I mean, if you're making money off the market, then okay, whatever. I mean, I'll likely be making money off the market. That I want to get into that, but at the same time, though, I mean, I'm going to be doing other stuff too. I'm not going to live in the market, and I mean, just in general, I don't really think it would be a serious issue because most people are not going to live in the market.
Something else another thing, like for defensive purposes, like have a defense app that only like the defense people would use, and like kind of like coordinate stuff, be a little bit more secure, and like be kind of cool. Like I don't, that one's kind of more like, why not just use Discord? But I mean, it would kind of be cool to like kind of coordinate and have like maps available just like in DU, like be able to see and visualize everything. That would kind of be cool. Make it almost kind of like a strategy game, but it's just kind of like planning. I don't know. That would kind of be cool. But to answer your question, whoever said something about Arc Central should be weekly once DU launches, it would not surprise me if someone tried to do like a 24/7 like news stream like on YouTube or something, like 24/7 like.
Yeah, there might be
different
people who
hosts.
try that, but
That'd be honestly cool if someone
would-
could pull it off. Like have different hosts.
well, okay, because you would need to have multiple hosts for multiple different areas that are
Mhm.
willing to be online at a certain time
Mhm.
to a certain time,
Yeah,
almost every day, or
Yeah.
on certain day,
Yeah.
consistent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, otherwise, you're no longer 24/7 because now you have downtime.
Mhm.
I mean, I think it would be reasonable to have, say, a news website
Mhm.
that as news becomes available, it's released as soon as possible, to the point where if you have stuff being released within 5 or 10 minutes if it's a major.
Well, to put it into perspective, I mean, Yamamushi has made like inroads on doing something like that with DUFM. Like people were supposed to have their own radio shows and be able to talk and everything like that. Granted, it didn't really kind of work out because people just like it kind of just came at a bad time where people just didn't have much interest in the game.
So see, I think a lot of that sort of stuff will take off once the game is actually
Yeah,
available
definitely.
to everyone. Once it's at least in beta, it'll have a much better chance of being able to survive. But I mean, for the most part, once it hits full release and everyone has access to the game,
Mhm.
I think it'll be able to sustain itself much, much better.
And Agatha, technically DUFM was supposed to have shows. It's just like I know that there was a schedule and I was supposed to have a show on there. It's just things, didn't really work out. But there isn't. Yeah, I agree, Dexia. There isn't much to make a show out of at the moment because there's just not much content. And I mean, that was
That's why it's
one
not
of the
gonna
things.
really work it's released.
That's one of the things that you know, it's just kind of hard right now, especially with with the NDA. Like, we can't really talk about anything, so it's kind of just like, well, I mean, it's like, what are we gonna do? And then, you know, especially for something that's supposed to be kind of like every week. Now, granted, this show's every week, but I mean, we kind of struggle at this point. But yeah, honestly, like, and also there were other radios that came along, and it was kind of just like, well, I mean, not that you know, it's people struggled to the hosts of said radio shows tried like to get multiple people to do, like, there weren't enough people to make like a schedule that's like just completely like filled, right? There weren't enough people to like do shows, and I'm guessing once we make it into alpha and stuff like that, we'll have more people who are willing to do that. I mean, hell, a lot of people say they want to live stream the game. We'll see how successful they are, but I mean,
yeah, I'd love to get into that.
I want to live stream the game, and honestly, we'll see how well I do. I mean, honestly, I feel like if I work hard enough, that's what you need to do. People need to work for that kind of stuff. And I mean, like,
yeah, well, I mean, it's no different than, you know, a lot of those major YouTubers who live stream, for instance, EVE Online. I mean, some of them can have, you know, like, there's one where I swear to God, I don't think I've ever seen a stream go down.
well, the thing is that honestly, people just kind of have the idea that it's just like, oh, it's just easy money, you know, just. But honestly,
yeah, it's not.
It's not. You need to work.
It's a full-time job.
Yeah, you need to be
I
dedicated. Like,
unless you're doing purely like so for, I mean, if you're doing like videos that you release every now and then, like for YouTube and not really live streaming, I mean, you have to edit those videos and you have to go through all that crap,
yeah,
and get them released, and then hope they don't get monetized.
yeah, like right now, like this kind of stream and stuff like that, I'm not really putting too much effort into it because honestly, like, I know I'm not going to get many views, like, at this point, like, but once I get into alpha, like, I plan on like being able to kind of like, yeah, I have 9 viewers, man. I'm raking in that YouTube money. I'm probably got like, yeah,
You
but
maybe get like $1 a month,
maybe, but
and you can't even get a payout until you get at least $100. So let's see, you get paid out in about 100 months, or, you know, almost 10 years.
I probably make more money mining
9 years.
Bitcoin on a shitty laptop than.
I mean, not if you're paying for electricity.
True. Well, yeah. But yeah, we'll see where it goes. But I want to plan on live streaming this. It just, you need to be dedicated. And I mean, especially in a game like this, because it's like, there's a lot of stuff you could do, but you need to kind of be like, but it's kind of like one of those games where it's kind of like you can just do whatever you want. So like, but it's not always like extremely fast paced. Like, that's why I think games like Fortnite and PUBG, because it's like instant, like you can just immediately get into matches and stuff like that. And if you just don't want to like do anything, you just kind of want to sit in the lobby and talk with your stream, you can do that. But like, you can immediately get into action. That's why people like watching it, because there's immediate action. Like, I love watching PUBG stuff. I'm not big into Fortnite. However, recently I have actually kind of watched a lot more Fortnite, because
Yeah, Fortnite sucks.
I just feel like it's too cartoonish. Like,
It's too cartoonish, and I mean,
don't
to
get me
me,
wrong. Don't get me
the
wrong.
fact that they kind of took the game mode of a game that already is running on their engine, so they're getting royalties funded. It's kind of dirty that they decided to create their own version of a game that they're already getting money from.
Honestly, like, I gotta give credit to Epic. What they have done, creating like a game that everyone is like literally took the industry by storm and created people like Ninja.
Well,
I mean, look
PUBG
at him. I mean,
technically got that popular. I mean,
Well-
PUBG is, and I'm talking about PUBG mod for Arma, not the dedicated game.
well, but
Which
like,
dedicated game, I believe, is by the same person who did
but
the
it
mod. But I
didn't-
mean,
yeah, but I mean, it did not, get like to the level that Fortnite has. Like, I gotta give.
Fortnite's gotten to that level because it's free, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
what do you expect? It got popular because PUBG started becoming popular, so they made Fortnite, which ended up getting even more popular because it was free. You didn't have to pay for it, so you have all those little kids who can just go and download it.
I mean, hey, they're doing it though. I mean, Gotta
No,
give 'em
PUBG, I'm
credit.
pretty sure was around with H1Z1 because PUBG started out as a mod for Arma, and I'm pretty sure it was around then.
I know PUBG, like, I remember watching PUBG, like,
I also
alpha
remember when
videos. Like,
I also remember when H1Z1 was supposed to be a survival game and not a battle royale game, and they ripped
What?
everyone off.
yeah. Well, I mean, granted,
So
it
I
was
did not buy that.
it was supposed to be, like, they do have a survival thing. Like, they have H1Z1
Well, they
Just
used to,
Survive. I'm not
and
sure
I'm
if
pretty sure
have it
they don't.
anymore.
They no longer upkeep it
Oh.
anymore. I'm pretty sure it's been ignored now. But the bad thing is, from what I understand, is that when they decided to basically, from what I understand, they went from being a survival game
Mhm.
and then made it a battle royale game, and all the people who bought it for the survival were forced to rebuy it so they could play survival.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't even keep the survival. They made survival battle royale and then re-released the survival game as a whole new game. What they did was very screwed up.
Dual Universe isn't a little kid's game. It is coming out in the perfect time where all the old school time gamers grew up and crave a more immersive game. I don't disagree. I'm just saying, but like streaming, I think is going to be incredibly tough because how many of those people are going to want to watch a live stream of someone playing? Like,
Oh, I mean, you could say the same thing about just about any game. Why would you want to watch a live stream of someone else playing when you can play it yourself?
yeah,
It
and to
still
that
gets you. It
yeah.
still works.
I mean,
Never
we'll see.
underestimate it. You
Yeah.
know, I mean,
I mean,
you
hell,
could say the same thing about literally every game. And EVE
Yeah.
Online would be probably the closest to you. And sure enough, there's still streamers who get plenty of views. And
yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Honestly, but it's definitely going to take a lot of dedication, and it's probably going to take a lot of time because honestly, this is an indie game. It's not like it's some super popular AAA game that you can make tons of money off of overnight. Like, it's going to take time for you to get known, if at all. So I mean, and it's just like it takes dedication and also consistency. You can't just like expect views like when you're inconsistently just kind of like doing stuff. You need like a set upload schedule. Like that's why I always tried to make these on Saturday always try to communicate like when, like if I don't do one or like everything like that. Cause honestly, like if you look at our GTA videos that we used to do, like they really don't get many views because of the fact that like they were kind of just like random spring of the moment stuff that we just decided to stream a little bit. And honestly, I didn't really care because that was just kind of some fun. But like the times that we like actually scheduled, like say like we did a Terran Union War, those actually got a lot of views. And part of that is because we also had Terran Union viewers, but I mean, still, it was kind of just fun. And that's what I treated those as, just as kind of like more fun stuff. Like, if you go in expecting to try and make a job out of it, you're not going to get anywhere. And, like, unless you work, like, your fucking ass off. But go into it as a hobby, and if it goes somewhere, then hey, you know? Like, that's what I think. But I know I'm just, like... I can't really give advice because of the fact that literally I'm sitting at 80 subs. But, I mean, you know, that's just advice that I take from, you know, the actual famous people and honestly just try to apply to
it's
myself.
more subscribers than I have. I have like 2 or 3.
Yeah, and you still had yours monetized before those new YouTube rules.
Yeah.
You were making like 2 cents.
I don't even know. I don't even think I have any money in my AdSense account because it's been so long. I'm pretty sure they removed it. Because I think if you don't do anything with it, it eventually removes itself if you don't actually keep making money.
Mm-hmm. But
that or I forgot the info.
But yeah, that's my whole opinion on that kind of stuff. But I am definitely going to try my best to stream. I definitely want to try, and honestly, I think I will get viewers. It's just question of how many, and honestly, like, you gotta, that's another thing, like, have something, like, try and always set yourself apart. You don't want to be like the exact same. You want to be original, like, and you know, like, if you see something that you like, certainly you can implement it, but don't just like copy someone else, right? Like, that's just, you're not gonna really get any good views. Like, that's just my opinion. Like, I treat myself different from the rest of the community, from the rest of the Dual Universe streamers and content creators, because I'm just a fucking idiot. And I do this shit for comedy. So I'm like one of the few comedians. I guess I can't call myself a comedian, but I mean, I'm just an idiot. That's basically the way I do it. And I mean, hey, people like me. I don't know why, but
Yeah, I don't know why either.
It's why the fuck do you guys like to watch me? Like, all you 8 people, why the fuck are you guys watching? I'm a fucking idiot. But no, in all seriousness though, it's just, I mean, it's kind of like, granted, it's not really, this topic is not really like, you know, D-related, but I mean, it is relevant. But yeah, that's pretty much it now. I think we just, your goof and laughter is contagious, yes. But yeah, I think that's about it. Unfortunately, Nova Quark, Diesel obviously wasn't watching, so he didn't scramble to get any screenshot Saturdays up, unfortunately. Oh, Diesel, pick up the pace. But yeah, that's about it for this week. Unless if anyone else has something to say. But yeah, thank you, Penga, for being here, of course. And thank you guys so much for watching. We will be back next week. Make sure you like and subscribe. Really helps get our content out there. Make sure you follow us on social media. All the links to everything we discussed are in the description below. Yeah, we'll be back next week. Hopefully same time, same place. I don't know yet, but I'm planning on it. But yeah, honestly, thank you guys so much for watching. Until next week. Bye.